Welcome into KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week. Come to you live from Park City High School as we wrap up the regular season with a non-region battle. The Park City Miners, 9-0, preparing to take on the Springville Red Devils. Thank you for joining us, everyone. My name is Dane Stewart. Pleased to be joined by Moose Bingham.
I'm just so excited to be here. A non-region game to end the season off?
It feels weird, doesn't it?
Who would have thought?
I'm actually
it's like week 3.
I know. I'm actually all about it. Look, Springville, we'll talk about the Red Devils, introduce them wearing the whites tonight and the blue lids. They're 7-2 overall, 4-1 in a region. That lone region loss coming at the hands of Timview. That was a 17-0 game. This has been a Springville team. Their defense has been fantastic, and they got one of the best backs in the state in Tavita Valetti.
Oh, Tavita Valetti. We saw at the beginning of the season, he'd go off for 5 touchdowns a week. But you're going to have some other kids step up. It can't just be Tavita Valetti, because this Park City team, they're not short in stature, and they are girthy as well. There's some big boys on this team. Springville is not going to be able to run down their throat at all. So we're going to see what happens when a hard place meets a rock.
I'm really excited. We'll get into this as this opening kickoff into the end zone. But, Moose, so often we talk about offense when we come to do games. There's a lot of electric defensive players for both these teams tonight.
Oh, my goodness gracious. You've got a Tabarachi because, of course, there's going to be a McCurdy out there, too.
Yep.
Because it's a Park City team. But the guys I'm excited for are Dallin Johnson on the other side.
Yep.
My goodness.
Yep. There's a plethora of defensive talent. Dallin Johnson also a center, so we'll see him on his opening drive for Springville. And look, we'll talk about the guys up front, because when you think about Springville and this running attack, it all starts with the line. Double tight ends here to come out on first down as Springville starting at their own 20-yard line. We talk about Tavita Valetti. What a year he's had. It's Viciate Valetti. They call him Rock at the quarterback position. And Rock will hand off here to Tavita on first down.
The crazy thing is you don't expect very much D1 talent to come out of Park City. They've got 2 linebackers, one committed to UCLA, and the other has just gotten an offer from Washington State this last week.
Yeah, it's a good Park City team. And talking to both these staffs, in non-region game, these two teams, they have never played each other, actually, at least going back to 1950. There's a lot of respect between these staffs. Look, they're really big and talented. They're really big and talented. They know it's going to be a tough matchup here to close up the regular season, as on second down, we'll see Rock throw, looking up the sideline. Boy, that's a good ball. Oh, what a catch. What a catch by Luke Nadal.
Luke Nadal, of course, I've been highlighting him all year. Luke Nadal, he's a phenomenal defensive back, to be honest with you. But he's a kid that's like, why are you guys highlighting all of these other safeties? I should be in the conversation. And with catches like that, you're like, maybe you should. Goodness gracious, Luke, what a play.
That was a one-handed catch down the sideline, and we talked about Valetti, the quarterback. He's just a sophomore. That's a beautiful ball from Rock.
I swear every quarterback in this state is a sophomore.
It feels that way, doesn't it? Want to let you know the clock you see on our screen, unofficial. At times we'll stop early, start late, that sort of thing, to keep it trued up here, as Rock taking this up the right side, a gain there of 6.
All I know is Springville is so happy that the Valettis moved in, because they've got a head coach out of it, a running back, and now a phenomenal quarterback.
Well, how about this? So I had never talked to Coach Valetti. I said, Coach, good to meet you. You got some sons on the team. He goes, I got 2 sons and 4 nephews. I'm like, oh my goodness. So we went through everyone. Nephew, son, nephew. It's like, my goodness. It's brought a plethora of talent to Springville.
You can't do that in my family tree. I'm just letting you know that right here.
Yeah, same. How about direct snap here to Tavita, looking right side through one tackle. Well, that's a good stand-up, but you see the power there of the senior, 6'2", 210, Tavita taking it for a first down.
My goodness, Tavita just runs like he's angry at the turf and angry at the world. You see those big old quads start pumping. They're like pistons in an engine getting started, and it's hard to stop Tavita Valetti.
Well, and here's the thing. He's listed at 6 feet, 210. We're on top of the press box. I mean, he looks all of 210, but he looks bigger than I imagine. Like, you see him on tape, it's like, oh, he seems like a small little back. He's not.
Yeah, when you've got Dallin Johnson and Kenny Lau in front of you, you might look like a small
that's fair. That's fair. Valetti off to the right. He'll be a lead block here for Rock. And through another tackle. How about Rock picking up 7 yards on that run?
Yep, just the cousins raring to go. Goodness gracious.
And
this Springville team, they've been just chomping up these yardage.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting that for them to do that against this Park City team.
And I was going to ask you, that ball to Nadal early on the first drive, does that send a message and maybe make that Park City defense maybe just hesitate for a split second?
Honestly, it would make me as a defensive back, because I'm sitting there thinking maybe I got contained. Now I'm like, oh, Luke Nadal, maybe I need to cover.
Second down here. Look, there's a lot of big men up front. Rock trying to tuck this penalty flag in on the play. Boy, that's good pursuit. Nice wrap up there. Trey Beichner, the senior, coming up to make a nice stop as we get the whistle here from our officials.
What's been interesting about this Park City team is they've been bitten by an injury bug. This is the first team that they're feeling healthy finally, because they've had a quarterback that transferred from American Fork. He hasn't been healthy all year.
Nope.
It's just been one after another. The McCurdy kid, he's finally ready to go. You see guys that you're like, oh my gosh, this is a complete Park City team for the 10th game of the season, and most other teams, they're finally going down. Park City is levitating up.
Yeah.
And Crimson Cliffs is going to be watching this game, because this is a common opponent between Park City and Crimson Cliffs in Springville.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. It was a holding penalty there. Will back up Springville. But look, you talk about RPI, and Crimson Cliffs, got the win over Springville earlier this season. It was a close game. 28-7. But that's one of the fewer points that Crimson has scored on the year. As Rock through one tackle. Boy, he's got a little bit of space here. He's got a quick step, doesn't he, Moose?
Man, you might have to call him rock and roll after this, because he is just going up and down the field, just strumming along. Good job, Rock.
And you talk about the big men up front. We alluded to earlier, Dallin Johnson, 6'4", 295. The senior plays O-line, D-line. He's a center here wearing 73. He's leading the charge for the big men of Springville up front.
You know what? I don't make this comparison lightly, but he does remind me of Jackson Powers like.
I was actually, as he walked out there, I'm like, he looks Jackson Powers like. Very broad in the chest.
And that is a comparison that I rarely throw out there.
Rock, play action to space. He'll roll near side. Oh, Nadal! Boy, that's one that he usually brings in.
Nadal is usually sure-handed. And Luke Nadal is all of 6'2". He's a big boy.
I know we were talking, Moose, about a week ago. Before we knew we were going to do this game, you're like, Luke Nadal, I like this kid. You're big on him when we talked a couple weeks ago.
I'm really big on him. Everyone just looks at Davis Andrews and Falutea, Satsual. I can't even say his name. The bountiful safety. He's a dude. But I'm like, Luke Nadal, I put him right there with O'Brien at Olympus as well.
Fourth down here for Springville. Offense on the field. They've got to go 7 yards. Rock looking right side. Boy, that's got a lot of air under it. Ooh, just overthrew the target. Was looking for Reed Dede, but it falls incomplete, and Park City will take over on downs.
That is a big stop for Park City. They did get that chunk play, but we're going to see how phenomenal this Park City team is at full strength going against a ferocious Springville defense.
I'm guessing it's that Dede family. Of course, we've seen Dede's in recent years. Lauren, state champion with the girls basketball team. Walker was a tight end a couple years ago. Reed, a junior, listed at 6'2", 180. That's been a good pedigree for Springville as well, assuming they're all related, which we are assuming.
Yeah, we're just going to make that assumption here and now. It's not college.
First drive here for the Miners, and they stay on the ground here. There's not a lot of room up front. Coming up with that stop was Johnson.
You're not going to run on Johnson.
No.
You might try it. You're like, let's establish the running game, but running into a brick wall would be more forgiving than Dallin Johnson.
Well, we talked about Dallin Johnson, 6'4", 295, one of the other guys on this D-line. Kinikini Fonohema, a senior, 6'6", 215, playing edge wearing number 50. He has D1 opportunities. There's a lot of talent on this Springville D. Into the flat. Oh, nice tuck inside there by Will McCurdy. He'll pick up about 5.
So Will McCurdy's already committed to Davidson.
Yeah.
Following his brother's footsteps, which, hey, That's not a bad person to follow.
Not at all.
His brother's been tearing it up at Davidson the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's going to be fun to watch those two together.
7:25 left to go here, first quarter.
I don't often compliment people on their clapping skills, but that was a hell of a clap.
Watch the language
Heck
there,
of a
Moose.
clap.
Come on. There's Jackson. Oh, boy, that's a tight window throw. And the catch is made. Good reception by Bash Bodley.
Wow. So it's really nice to see Lincoln Jackson out there. Bash Bodley was a quarterback for this team for a majority of the season.
Yep.
But Lincoln Jackson, coming from American Fork, he is a great quarterback. Switching off with Edwards last year, and there are other quarterbacks. He's like, I want to be a starter. I want to do this. And he's like, I'm going up to Park City.
Well, what you got to appreciate about a kid like Bodley is, look, oh, nice pitch there into some space and just brought down. Well, that's a touchdown saving tackle as Eli Warner takes it into Springville territory.
Wow. Did you see that burst from Eli Warner? I could barely see him from up here. It was just like, whoop.
What I was going to mention just quickly about Bodley is, look, you got to play quarterback, you got to play tight end. Kid who's just trying to help his team win games. As this one thrown ahead to Tyler Monzingo. Another one of the seniors has a first down. Son of head coach.
Son of the head coach?
Yeah, Josh Monzingo.
I was about to piece that together.
Yeah.
We need to get some family trees going on up here so we can turn around and map it all out for everyone.
Park City feels like they're finding some rhythm here on their first drive of the game. First down. Little option play. Jackson, the pitch, back to Warner.
The option play, you're always like, will this work? And then it always does. It seems like they're just eating up yards. A giant turf monster out there, gaining and gaining and gaining to the end zone.
It's been a resilient Park City squad. Warner's listed as a wide receiver, but look, he's got 77 carries, 667 yards coming in with 8 rushing touchdowns. That's 9 yards a touch.
That's a great job for
That's
a wide
great
receiver.
job. And you talk about the injuries with McCurdy and others as a penalty flag here before the snap, but look, sometimes you just got guys, we need help, right? And you move players around and they find roles and fits, and it's worked out well for Park City this year.
See, that's what I love from Jackson. His clapping ability, getting that defensive line. They've got their ears pinned back. They're like, hey, this is a 4A squad. Let's get after them. And they're going to have to hold their water a little bit better.
Yeah. So first down here after the penalty is the ball inside the 20-yard line. 6:02 to go. Jackson, boy, pressure coming. Oh, Moose, you gave me a heads up of this before the game. But I think this is a different player, actually.
Justin Michaelize. That is true. And I messed it up. 6'4", 300 pounds. There's a lot of big bodies out here. That's on me. They said, hey, we have no problem throwing to our tackle. And I'm like, I may have a problem with that. And they're like, we don't. Good thing I'm not the coach and they are.
Yeah, you said he's got a quick 40 time.
Yeah,
it's faster than Dusty. Dusty can do the bench. He doesn't have the 40 time of Michaelis.
We need a little bit more space on that bench. Just kidding, Dusty.
We love you, brother. Second down and 12. After the loss on the play, you got single coverage, bottom of the screen. It's where they go for Monzingo. Did he haul it in? No, incomplete.
Debatable call from up here, but we'll let it go.
Heck of an effort.
Honestly, can we talk about Dusty's bench? That was amazing that he even got that off the bar.
Look, I don't care if the butt's off. 415 pounds.
Yeah.
415.
That's the size of a small elephant.
Last night we had a Costa Vida burrito.
Yeah.
He lifted 415 burritos at once. Jackson, boy, a deep drop. That screen red. Now Lincoln going to try to pick it up with his feet, and he'll take this down to the 14-yard line.
Now let's see what they do. They do have one of the top kickers in the entire
I was waiting
country.
for you, Moose. I was waiting for you.
Love to see David Dellenbrock coming out here.
Do you know what his long is this year?
59.
59, okay.
Are
this
you
one a little
me?
closer. No, I was asking you if you knew what his. I didn't know.
Come on, Dave.
I didn't know.
Come on.
I'll tell you this. This is one of the best kicking backdrops in the state. You're kicking into pine trees on both ends. It's awesome.
I'm sure a ball or two has been lost to the pine trees.
It's a 31-yarder. Kicks away. Boy, had a weird spin to it, but he gets it in. It's good.
You know what? It might look ugly. That's okay. As long as it goes through the pipes, that's all we care about, right?
That's right. 3-0 Park City as they're able to capitalize on the opening drive. Want to take a moment, thank our sponsors here on KSL Sports Rewind. Heidemann Associates is a full-service law firm with locations along the Wasatch Front. They can also meet with you virtually, and they're completely focused on you and helping you through your legal needs and your legal questions. They're flat-fee law firm. They're not going to bill you for a ton of hours. If you have any legal needs, give the experts at Heidemann and Associates a call. Call them at 801-472-7742 or visit them online at utah.law.
I always laugh when I talk to Park City people. They're like, we don't recruit because we can't. There's not many people that are willing to make the drive that we made tonight to get up here. And I just kind of laugh about that. Park City is just such a great community, and so is Springville. That's what I love, these small-town teams that you're not getting very many transfers in.
This kick high in the end zone. Look, all right. I usually have officials back, but that one was blown dead clearly before it crossed the end zone line there. Come on, guys.
You could have blown it dead before the foot touched the leather.
I know. That's when you know you got a legit kicker. When they're like, yeah, that was a touchback.
I honestly never had that problem. They're like, let's see if Moose can even get it to the 10 at this point. He's looking tired out there.
So 4:15 to go here, opening quarter. Second drive of the game here for the Red Devils. First drive, they moved the ball well, but the 4th and 8, they turn it over on downs. We'll see if they can get back in rhythm here.
Look at the single coverage that's going on, though. That's what's interesting to watch from this Park City defense.
And certainly a height advantage as well. They will stay on the ground. This is Valetti straight ahead, pick up a 4.
So Park City is basically saying, we dare you to throw on us.
Yep.
Even though you've done it once before. And look out for Luke Nadal on that one. Because if I've got a one-on-one with him, I'm taking rock and I'm throwing that up.
Well, that's what they did earlier, right?
Yep.
And a well-placed ball, a heck of a catch by Luke. Had him in business. Inside of 4 to go here. It's such an old-school football look, isn't it? You got one wide receiver on the play. Here's Savita, straight ahead, first down, and more.
Well, the funny thing is Springville, as of recent, is known for having phenomenal quarterbacks that have run out of this offense.
Yeah, Ryder Burton.
McKay Hillstead came up through this.
That's right. That's right.
Same year as Ryder Burton. McKay ended up transferring to Skyridge, but my goodness gracious, you're like, you have 2 Division I quarterbacks in one Little League system? What a good deal.
Yeah.
And I do love Ryder Burton.
I don't follow BYU nearly as much as pretty much everyone else associated with Rewind, but that's one where early returns, from what I've heard, been very good for Ryder Burton, and good for him.
Yeah.
Nice run there.
That's the nice thing is I love that these local schools are going after local kids, keeping them in state.
Go ahead.
Dallin Johnson on the field right here.
I'm going to make a comment. People probably aren't going to like it. It's about time. You don't have to go back that long ago. I think when Utah first made the jump and BYU went independent, it felt like they maybe left the state a little bit. And Utah State really recruited heavily. And that's where I thought Utah State took a big step up in being back to being competitive. And I think now you see, as recruits have gotten better and better in the state, they've come back, right? Utah, BYU, feels like they're much more in play than what they were for a stretch there.
Well, it's really funny to me. You'll see this kind of rhythm that happens. New coaching staff gets in, they're like, we're going to focus on the state. We're going to get in-state talent. They start to win. They start going out of state.
Yeah.
They're like, we're going to bring in all this out-of-state talent.
Yep.
And you're like, what are you doing?
Right.
This is how you win.
Right.
And they're like, have you been to Las Vegas? I'm like, yeah, we kicked their butts. Have you been to Texas? No, we don't go there very often. Have you been to California? Yeah, we kick their butts.
Yeah, yep.
But per capita, there's no place better in the country than Utah.
Yep, it's really good. 3rd down and 5 to go here for Springville. Boy, look at Park City. Everyone ready to come. As Tavita, right side, first down. Valetti near midfield and bringing men with them to the 47-yard line, first down.
Yeah, just like they drew it up on 3rd and 6. They're like, oh yeah, we have the top running back in the state. Here we go.
A nice carry there for Tavita. And how about the push by our own line? How many coaching staffs? I can think of one other one. They're calling maybe two. They're calling a run on a 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6.
Most of them are in the central
I was going to
Salt
say
Lake area.
East.
West.
Oh, West. I didn't think about West. Box Elder. They'll
Box
do it,
Elder?
right?
Yeah. So there's about 4 teams in the state.
Yep. And Springville. First down. Looking left side here. Oh, boy, big collision in the hole there. Park City came flying in and still able to pick up 3 yards. Can I make one more comment?
Yeah.
Park City, the band faces the stadium. Genius. You can actually hear them when they're playing. What a concept. Way to go, Miners.
This is one of the more unique stadiums I've ever been to.
It's awesome. You got the coaching boxes.
It's like they planned it out. They're like, it's going to snow here a lot. We're definitely putting multiple boxes.
It kind of feels like Ralph Wilson, where you got like the offset coaching boxes.
It does.
It's awesome. 2nd and 8 here. It is nicer than Ralph Wilson Stadium. I've been there. Here's Tavita. Up to the 40-yard line. Gain of 5.
It's always interesting. I talk to different coaches and the challenges they have. They're like, our challenges, our kids aren't getting good grades, or our challenges, our kids like to farm more than play football. Park City, it's hard to get kids out to play football when you've got the ski resorts right here.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? I don't blame these kids. People fly from all over the world to come to Park City. But it's tough to play football here.
3rd and short. They don't have to run a play, and I don't think they will. I think Springville are going to take this into the second. 3-0, the advantage for the Park City Miners after 1. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week, presented by Heidemann Associates and brought to you by Igloo Outfitters. Welcome back. Get ready to start the second quarter. Want to remind you, I feel quite good. We're in Park City in October. I'm wearing my Igloo. Enjoy the moments. Don't let weather keep you down. Check out Igloo Outfitters, IGLU, igloooutfitters.com. Folks, I feel like it's summer out here in my Igloo. I'm not lying. Moose is lying. I'm dead serious. This thing's amazing. igloooutfitters.com. Enter Rewind for $20 off.
He's about 2 seconds away from singing I Am Warm and You Are Cold.
Oh, first down again on a 3rd down run play.
Man, another great 3rd down conversion for Springville. This is what Springville does. They wear you down.
Yep.
They're not going to throw the ball all over the field. They're going to say, hey, we're coming at you, and just bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. And you just get sick and tired of seeing Tavita Valetti running down your throat.
Well, and here's the other thing about it is it allows your defense to get a little bit of rest. Now, look, they got guys that go both ways. Park City does too. But it allows your defense to take some time, look some tape, see what's going on. And they feel very comfortable and confident in this mentality. First down. Little toss, Tavita. Oh, boy. Number of Miners coming up to make the stop. No gain for Tavita.
Man, Andy Watanabe coming in. 6'1", 220, the middle linebacker. Wow. He stopped him right in his tracks.
It is a defense that flies around. We haven't even talked about Beatty and Towery. We talked about Tabarachi. It's a loaded defensive unit.
The interesting thing, these guys are getting developed younger and younger.
Yeah.
They have a 7-on-7. I'll talk about it in a second.
Empty back, 5 wide. What is happening? Rock trying to run. Shakes off a couple defenders. Oh, Rock, can he get to the outside? Yes, he does. First down and more. Inside the 20 to the 10. And it's the sophomore quarterback taking it down. First and goal for Springville.
I think you should have noticed Park City they're going 5 wide. They're trying to spread us out. Let's just stay right together. Go into a bear defense. Some old school.
Park City 7,
Really great play design, though, right there.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. That's where that ball early on, you don't expect him to throw it, but it introduces a little bit of doubt, right? Wait, 5 wide? Are they really going to throw to the... I don't know.
That's the point of an offense. Let's keep the defense guessing. Could we throw it? We haven't really yet. But
here's some insight for you. If the defense knows what's coming, they're probably going to be ready for it. There you go. Coaching 101. First and goal. Valetti. Wow. Gain of maybe a yard. Feels like Park City, that run defense starting to get attuned to what's going on here.
What I'm noticing right now is Park City's sideline is just about as full as Springville's.
Yes.
That's one thing I wasn't expecting, if not more kids in Park City.
Well, and it's interesting because Park City went up to 5A for a couple years. They're back down in 4A. That's based off of total enrollment, not participation. It is a deep sideline for the Miners, who, by the way, have a top 5 lid in the state of Utah. Top 5. Unreal. Second and goal. Oh, jump pass. Valetti to the end zone. Touchdown.
Wow. Great job by Lauakai, the tight end. That's a big old tight end, too. I wasn't expecting that.
Tavita Valetti showing a little dualism to his game.
So for all you guys who had on your bingo card Tavita Valetti throwing a touchdown, congratulations.
As Springville taking the lead here, 9:01 to go in our opening half. Point after opportunity. Point after. Oh, boy, good pursuit. But it is up and good.
Man. That went right through his arms.
Yeah, did not miss that by much. Good hustle around the edge.
Oh, back to what I was talking about with Park City. So Park City is one of the few teams that what they do for fundraising is they actually have a 7-on-7 league for all of their 14-year-olds and younger. And that's where you're getting a lot more participation from Park City because these guys are getting the football bug younger and younger and younger. And I love to see that. I love to see that what they do with that because they actually have the high schoolers go down and coach these 7-on-7 teams. Really interesting and a brilliant way of getting participation up for the football team.
Well, and that's where the isolation is nice with that, right? Because you don't have to worry about losing kids, right? It's like you build that program and that community where there's a connection to varsity and to youth, and then you idolize that. You want to be a part of that, right? And you want to grow up and you want to live up to that.
Well, how cool would it be if you're getting coached by, like, Max Alford, who's playing at Utah State, or Carson Tabaracci,
right,
who's at USC, and you're like, I'm as good as them, I can do that.
Yep.
Phenomenally talented, or Coco Lukrich, who's come through here, Stanford. Great players all around.
Yeah. Springville here to kick off for the first time tonight. This kick, returnable, fielded at the 6, looking straight ahead. Up to the 27-yard line.
So why that kick was returnable right there, the kicker actually did what we call a stutter step about 4 yards from the ball. That stopped all of his momentum and makes me really frustrated. So I'm going to look for better from Lucas Frakes, the 6'4" senior.
The stutter early or midway?
So the stutter about 3-4 steps before the kickoff.
Okay, so you build momentum and then you kind of halt it right before the ball. That's what you're saying.
No, you shouldn't do that.
No, I know, but that's what you saw.
That's what he did. He had all that kinetic energy building up and then stopped. Makes me so frustrated.
First down. Up the middle. And the run there by Warner.
Do you know what? Springville has had some phenomenal specialists. When I coached at Snow, I went down to Springville, found a kid named Brody Taylor, ended up being an All-American at Snow and punted at Weber State as well.
Wow.
And now is a doctor. Or going to medical school. My bad. Not a doctor yet.
It's just a matter of time, let's be honest. Second and 9, that ball out quickly. Boy, that is a good throw right between the defense to Bash Bodley. First down for Park City.
Bash Bodley is a kid that you want on your team, my goodness. And with a kid named like Bash, you just love it. 6'5", big kid, long, and smart.
You wonder if he'll play quarterback next year. Oh, taking a shot down the field. Has some space and just through the hands of Will McCurdy.
The collective groan from everyone, including myself.
I thought that ball was overthrown initially. McCurdy caught up to it, and boy, just a touch beyond his reach.
Someone's got to check his shoes. He's got some wheels on there. My goodness.
Yeah. Second down.
Second down and 10 from the 45.
Here's Jackson. Gonna run it up near midfield. Gain of 5 there.
Veteran move right there, using the ref as another blocker.
That's what I do every time. I don't know if you ever saw the movie Necessary Roughness.
I
Never seen it? Have you not seen it? Homework. Moose, there's your homework. Necessary Roughness.
I haven't had homework for years.
Well, you got it now. 3rd and 5. Jackson, the deep route caught. No, incomplete.
That was a heck of a throw, too.
Yep.
That was an elite college throw right there, honestly.
Lincoln wanted to go for it, but they're going to punt this one away. That's a good throw by Jackson. You're right.
Now, here's the question. We've watched Brody Laga, and he's a heck of a kicker and not a great punter. Let's see what David Dellenbrock can do.
Well, Dave, don't mess up, because Moose, he'll critique you live on the stream. Hey, there you go.
I'm not
there you go.
That. Oh, wow. Right outside on the 11. Ref, better not sell him short.
That's going to make Moose happy. I'm not going to lie.
My little heart just pitter-pattered with beautifulness right there.
All right, Moose, how do you get the horizontal bounce on the ball?
The horizontal bounce?
Yeah.
That's called a banana kick if you want that done correctly. You actually change the drop from being at about an 11:30 off your foot to sideways, and you hit the ball a little bit differently.
You know, I always go sideways when I punt, but no one's ever asked me to punt, so there's probably a reason for that. But
there's actually a really good clip today released by the Philadelphia Eagles of Britton Covey watching different punters. And I was like, what an elite clip. We love special teams here in the state, whether that's returning punts or creating them.
Who would have ever thought that Britton Covey would make a name for himself as a returner in the NFL? Way to go, Britton. Valetti.
Wow.
Boy, look at him stretch this outside.
I saw some go flying.
That helmet came off. It's been a couple weeks since we've had a helmet come off.
Oh, man. Goodness gracious. Owen Tabarachi, because, of course, there's another Tabarachi. It's really funny. Much to the chagrin of their father, none of them play hockey. Their dad
really?
was an NHL hockey goalie.
NHL?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, their dad's a really cool dude. Played, I think, 16 years.
Wow. The penalty here was on Springville. It'll be a half the distance penalty, so we'll back him up, be 1st and 15 here.
Some of these penalties I'd be contemplating whether to take or not.
You wouldn't have taken that one?
I don't know if I would have.
I think I would have.
It's because you're a smarter man than I.
We'll see if that plays out. 1st and 15. They'll go on the ground. Valetti, left side, room. Boy, he gets all that yardage back and more.
See, if you would have stuck to my plan, just kidding. I can never critique coaches. These dudes do more than anyone else in the state. Well,
that's the tough thing, right? It's like, okay, a team that can run for 5 yards a carry, do we want to have them at 2nd and 10 or 1st and 15? It's like, that's why I take my chances 1st and 15, but
I just don't know ever.
There's not a right answer to some of this, right?
No.
2nd down.
Sometimes just all the questions and answers are wrong. Except for to give the ball to Davida Valetti.
Yeah, that's a pretty good answer. For now, here to the left of Valetti. Trying to get outside. Oh, and lose yards. Boy, put that on a highlight film if you're this Park City defense. That doesn't happen very often.
No, it does not. Wow. Great play. What I like about this Park City team is they're really diligent and deliberate in what they do. They're dedicated to their defense, and they know what gaps they're doing. They're very, very consistent in what they're doing. Just really smart defensive players out here in Park City.
I'll tell you the thing I've liked early about Park City, the physicality.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they've come, they've hit. They haven't been overwhelmed by the fronts of Springville. They look like they belong in this game as a 4A team. And again, their first year dropping back to 4A, I don't say that as a knock at all, but they've been right with them physically. Oh, Rock. He's got to get to the 20, and he does. No, he had to get to the 21. My bad. So he's going to be short here by a yard.
Are they punting too?
Yes.
Wow.
Would you go for this, Moose? At your own 20?
I might.
Really?
With the running backs I have, yeah.
Wow.
And with Dallin Johnson, I would get the Eagles' little Philadelphia push.
Look, your high school self would be so disappointed in what you've become.
Oh, I didn't punt in high school. My high school self would be totally fine with what I've become.
Well, that's a high snap. Secured, away.
Good punting.
Yeah, no return here as it'll take a bounce out near midfield.
A lot of receivers, they'll look at their hands when they drop the pass. When the ball bounces back as a punter, you run, you grab the ball, you look at it, and you say, why? Why do you hate me?
So let me just hit you up on that, Moose. Not to be that guy, but here we go. You didn't punt in high school.
I did punt in college, though.
Okay, because I was going to say, you're a punter coach, so how did you feel that got punted in college?
So, I was at BYU one day, and Bronco came up to me and he said, hey, guess who's the second string punter? And I was like, I don't know, Taysom?
He does everything else.
Yeah, he's like, no, you. And I called up my kicking coach, Gary Zahner. I was like, hey, I got to learn how to punt this weekend. I'll be in Arizona real quick.
First down, a run here. Oh, nice stop made there by the by the senior Kini.
It was not a comfortable conversation.
Yeah, no kidding.
Actually, right after that, I went and found Johnny Linehan, and I said, hey, do you want to punt? He's like, no, not particularly. I'm like, yes, you do, because I know for a fact I don't.
Oh, that's funny. And we've got motion here.
It looks like the line didn't quite hold their water on that one.
So the penalty here will back up the Miners. 4:12 to go. Our clock got a little ahead. That's why you haven't seen it move. 4:12 here on the official clock in the stadium.
That was a choose your character situation. A lot of guys jumped on that one.
Do you remember the old Choose Your Adventure books?
Yes, I do.
We need to bring those back.
I don't think the youths are going to be all about that right now with video games. Oh, another flag.
Well, why don't you do it around coaching scenarios? Hey, you are up 7-3. You got the ball on the 20-yard line with a rusher that has 23 rushing touchdowns, 1,500 yards on the year, 4th and 1. What do you do?
Choose your adventure coaching book. But the flip side of it is you're never correct.
Wrong! You turn it over on downs.
Oh, no! What would happen if I punted? Blocks punt.
That penalty was on Springville. Jackson under pressure, able to evade it. Eyes downfield looking. Boy, that one, good coverage there by Tua Valetti. How about Jackson, man?
He is throwing some darts that are just not quite connected.
On the run, evading pressure, and that ball's perfectly placed. The coverage is right where it needed to be by Tua.
Honestly, he's one of the better quarterbacks we've seen all year. Between him and probably Freddie Ty.
He's been impressive.
Those are the ones who have really just kind of spoken to me.
Well, that was the thing, talking with Coach Monzingo before the game. He said, I feel so bad for Lincoln. It's a senior year. He moved up here. He wanted to get playing time, wanted to get tape out there. You talk about the injury battles. There were some. There was ankles, high ankle sprain. There's all sorts of stuff. And he's gutted through it. There's a penalty flag here on the play. Jackson going to tuck this and run. But listen, I think he's going to be coming back. Jackson inside the 30 to the 26. But that's just going to be endurance.
It's coming way back.
Yeah.
And the lineman that did it, I think he knows too.
Yep.
Luckily, this isn't the NFL. He doesn't get a fine on that one. Can you imagine finding these high school players? It's going to be 2 junior bacon cheeseburgers from you, young man.
All right, man. That's an extra 10 reps on the bench.
Oh, man.
Well, no, that probably does happen.
With
That's not really a fine.
weight.
With Lister weight, nice. You know what I was going to do?
What were you going to do?
I was going to make a white a poster board sign and just say, Dusty, 4:15.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. I didn't do it. I should have.
As long as you had Buddy Garrity saying that. Oh,
Dusty Garrity. Man.
Dusty Garrity.
Boy, this final couple of minutes, it went from being a very clean half to all of a sudden, I got a lot of yellow laundry on the field.
No one likes that yellow laundry. What's nice is it's not as cold as I thought it'd be, but I would still like an igloo.
I'm not going to lie, I'm feeling fantastic, man. IglooOutfitters.com. Here's Jackson rolling to his right. Underneath. Oh, wow. That's a good close. There's your guy, Moose.
Oh, coming in strong. That's the thing. You think you're safe at the flats. You think you've got time, but he baited him. He said, please throw it to the flats. I got to get another tick on my tackle mark. Little does Igloo Outfitters know, I would have fit them into almost every conversation. But nay, we're going to talk about cookies soon.
We'll get it. We'll get it. Fourth and a long way to go. Oh, boy, that one mishandled, and Springville's on it. Boy, the penalties, and now a special teams miscue, and Springville going to start at the Park City 16. Wow.
The one thing you don't anticipate as a puncher, when it starts getting colder, it's harder to catch the ball. What I had to do when I was in college is I did not have the best hands, but I found out there was this piece of equipment called jugs. I was on there for an hour a day because I was like, I cannot drop the ball ever. That's something that may be invested in from the Park City team in the next little bit.
Boy, this is, you have an opportunity for a long punt, a long field. Instead, 2:30 to go in the half. Springville set up here, already in field goal range, but they're looking for more than that.
And they've got two Valettis ready to go.
That's right, Rock with Tavita to his right. You got to clap. You got to clap, Rock.
Whoa.
Still on his feet. Boy, he's a hard runner, just a sophomore.
He's going to be great the next few years. I really liked number 15 coming in there, Blake Tabaracci. He did some what we call splatter technique. He forced the ball back inside, getting his other guys to come in and share some help so that he kept contained. I love to see that veteran move. You know, everyone at UCLA is excited about that. I was going to say,
you know who else loves to see it? Chip Kelly.
Chip Kelly's all like, I like offense, but boy, do I love the defensive play.
Second down. Boy, that one was interesting, actually. Tavita, he'll run it here left side. Nice hit.
This is a game where you're going to wake up tomorrow and be like,
you're going to be sore.
It's like, usually I think I'm a Caucasian human being, but I'm all black and blue.
Yeah, you're going to be sore. Third and short. This would be a big stop for this Park City D.
It should be, but Springville, they came to play.
Yes, they did.
They're like, we're not quite used to the altitude, but it doesn't matter.
I was going to joke with Coach Valetti about how you worried about the altitude tonight? Tavita. Boy. Looking left side again. First down and more. Valetti, touchdown, Springville.
Valetti is just a monster back there, and they're finding success on the edges. If you don't force that ball back in, it's a rough deal right there. Park City isn't quite used to this.
Inside of a minute to go. Chance here to go up by 11. This kick is up and good. 14-3. 14 unanswered. Scored by the Ville.
That was one of the most interesting PAT PAT teams I've ever seen. They had the guy inside of the shield peel out and come and really just kind of blindside block the guy going for the block. That was super interesting. I've never seen that before.
Want to remind you, Advanced Windows still running their fall windows special. You can get up to $2,000 off 10 windows or more, plus 0% interest financing available through Advanced Windows. They're locally made and proud sponsor of Rewind, KSL Sports Rewind. Check them out, advancedwindowsusa.com to learn more.
Man, they almost better be ready for a winter special, honestly, right now.
It's getting close. Of course, it's supposed to warm up again next week, get to a nice 70 degrees.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Maybe I don't need an igloo jacket quite yet. But there's still time to get it over.
That's right. We'll work on it. We'll work on it. Springville here to kick.
So let's be consistent. Walk, walk, jog, jog, sprint, sprint, kick. Oh. Or stutter, stutter, stutter.
That one gathered at the 20. Oh boy, finally gathered at about the 23. No return.
Horrendous kickoff, but great result.
If you're Park City, 50 seconds to go here. Starting at your own 24. We've seen them stretch it. We'll see how aggressive they like to be here.
Well, when you do have a quarterback that can make the throws like Lincoln Jackson, I think you can just go out and start slinging the rock. They have timeouts.
Really, the penalties were the problem on that last drive, and Springville got good pursuit in that backfield. Lincoln was able to buy some time and try to make plays. But look, coverage was good on that last drive from this Springville D. We'll see if they can match up here. Yep, they got it. Jackson going to hand off his penalty flags. No, little play action. Penalty flags on the play. Nice play there as they get this up ahead, and we will await the call here.
There's a penalty flag. Tackles complete the body from Lincoln Jackson.
Illegal formation?
Yeah, I believe so. Maybe not enough guys on the line of scrimmage?
I don't know. I'm working on my ref language. It's not going so well.
Well, they called procedure. But, most people say false start. Usually it is, but there's other procedures associated with it.
Yeah.
So 1st and 15 here instead.
Clock's rolling, too.
Yeah. That might change your approach here. Little toss. Oh, nice elusiveness. They'll pick up about 7.
Really great elusiveness. You just have Johnson right there. You're like, he's not that fast. He is.
Park City taking a timeout here with 26 seconds left. Hey, let's do a little fun time with Moose, eh?
Okay.
Let's go a little Moose Tracks. It's a new segment.
Moose Tracks? That's actually hilarious.
You like that?
Yeah.
Moose, give me your favorite moment from this season.
My favorite moment from this season? Oh, man. There's actually been a lot.
No, I didn't ask for a lot. I asked for your favorite. That alludes to one.
Okay, honestly, probably opening game. Our first game, Bingham, Lone Peak.
Yep.
I loved watching different kids that are stepping up, and I really like the defensive linemen from Lone Peak just coming in and setting dominant tones as a sophomore.
Bot?
Yeah, Bob Muitolo. That was one of my favorite things from this season so far.
That was a good one. I didn't even tell Moose to prep for that. Moose Tracks, a new segment on our Game of the Week.
I tried not to go with a field goal. Watching Dusty was special, though.
Dusty would be proud of you. 2nd down. Jackson. And that one incomplete. Boy, I don't even know how he got that one off. You've got a defender in the throwing lane, in the air. Talk about arm strength, huh?
It looked like a little bit of miscommunication. That looked to be, it was supposed to be a 15-yard out or a post or something like that. But watching Jackson right now, if I'm like Snow College, I'm giving him a call.
Me too.
Because he might not have all the film he needs, but Dude,
But he can play.
it.
He can play. He's more elusive than you think. His arm looks sharp. They'll run. No, that ball was on the turf momentarily to the line of scrimmage. That'll be it. And Springville going to take a timeout here. Yeah, they got to stop here with 19. So Park City are going to have to punt. Right? Yeah.
And this should be a confidence punt right here. You don't expect Springville to take some shots. Just catch the ball, get her off.
Well, first thing you got to do is clean snap, clean kick, right?
Yep.
Want to thank Park City High School, Jamie Sheets, the AD, and Coach Monzingo. Always so good to have us up here. We love coming up here. As Moose said, we don't get to do it much, but when we do, love it. Appreciate them having us, getting us all taken care of.
It's honestly the first time I've been to this field, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love it.
Because when I was in high school, they were 3A.
Yeah.
So we're like, we're never going to play them.
Well, that's one of the things I was surprised when they had never played going back to 1950. But then you think about it, it's like, well, usually there's a classification mismatch, and why would they, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was, there was a penalty. So, yeah, they're saying fourth down. I thought it was fourth down, too. There we go. All right. Yeah, officials agree. Fourth down. And that was Park City looking for a timeout. Yes. So timeout here, Park City. And because I think Coach Monzingo thought it was going to be third. And so he didn't have the punting unit on.
That would be a sad, sad day.
No kidding, huh?
Because you've already given Springville a short field which they capitalized on. And special teams seems to be the difference in this game so far.
Early on. And, it was one of the things, talking with Coach Valetti, he said, look, we know our style. We don't have a lot of room for mistakes. He goes, special teams is really critical for us. We got to make certain we execute there. You see, a muff snap that you're able to jump on, that's the special teams play, and it's a big difference in this game right now.
Yeah, Springville really can't come from behind and surprise you. They like to eat up the clock. They like to run the ball. But if they ever get behind, it's a tough, tall task for them.
And that's why he's like, look, we know that. So we can't make mistakes. And they haven't tonight. Been pretty clean. This one caught right in the chest as this ball high in the air. This is one you don't want to give it back. Ooh. I always get nervous there, right? Those up men don't know where that ball is, or the blockers don't know where the ball is.
That's where you need some communications. And Peter, get out of the way!
Was that your call, Peter?
Yeah, Peter, pumpkin eater.
So Springville will have it at the 45-yard line. 11 seconds on the clock here. We show 6, but there's an extra 5.
I'm pretty excited to get back in the box. I'm not going to lie to you.
Everybody clap your hands.
First down.
Should be 1, maybe 2 plays. We'll see what they do.
They do have 2 timeouts left. Springville does.
Oh, man, you've got Deuces up top. Look out for that.
Yeah.
Oh, they're throwing it.
Valetti looking deep for Nate. Oh, that one overthrown. Incomplete with 3 seconds left.
Downfield calls incomplete.
That was one of those Penn State throws right here. No matter what happens, throw it up.
That's right. I actually thought Tavita, I didn't know if he had lost track of the line of scrimmage. He was getting close to that, but stayed behind it.
It's hard. As a quarterback, you have to have so many things in your head going.
Yeah. Yep.
You're just like, oh, yeah, and this, and this,
and this, and this, and this, and this. Yep.
It gets harder the higher the level you go, but still pretty tough when you're young.
I'd fail in Ute Conference as a quarterback. I can't imagine varsity or even college or NFL. Final play of the half, pending a penalty here. It'll be a run. Rock right up the middle. And slips. Ooh.
Good tackle.
Second effort brings Rock down, and that'll do it. We've reached the break. 14 unanswered from Springville have the Red Devils in the lead. They lead Park City 14-3 at the half. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week, presented by Heidemann Associates and Igloo Outfitters. Welcome back. Getting ready to start our second half. Dane Stewart, Moose Bingham with you. 14-3, Springville out in front. Moose, your thoughts on what we saw in that first half?
You know what? Park City, it doesn't seem like they have 3 points on the board. They've actually played extremely well, but Springville has taken advantage of miscues on special teams and did a great job driving the field on one series. So I'm excited to see what happens in the second half because Park City isn't out of it quite yet, and they should be able to return this kickoff. Hopefully they can get some special teams play going here. Well,
and they, as you mentioned, they'll get the ball started the second half. They had their moments where they moved very well, but I thought Springville made some nice defensive adjustments. Obviously the penalties didn't help and opportunistic on special teams, but opening drive felt like Park City was able to get open. Back couple drives, there really wasn't a lot of opening for the receiving core. We'll see if that changes here. As good return up to the 25. We'll see Lincoln Jackson and this offense come back out.
Yeah. I'm excited to watch the Valettis again. It's just fun to watch your family come in and dominate. But Springville's in their element now. They can actually run the clock down if they can control this defensive possession. This is imperative that Park City put some points on the board this series.
We've seen some big second halves all year on KSL Sports Rewind on our Game of the Week. We'll see if Park City can put one together here tonight. As motion here on first down, Jackson will hand off. Nice lane up the middle. That ball on the turf, and Park City gives it up. Springville with another forced turnover.
Springville taking advantage. What you got to do, keep that ball high and tight, but Springville's going in, punching it out, and being successful in the first series, first play. That's not how you want to start this game off in the second half.
Not at all.
Great burst through the line. It would have been a first down.
Well, I was going to say, especially with the way that play started, you got to be feeling really good, but someone got a pot up in there. I didn't see who it was, but boy, Springville, the second possession or second opportunity where they will take over inside of minor territory.
This is a big test for Park City. They haven't been punched in the mouth very often.
A look to Vita Valetti taking on tacklers inside the 20.
Great run from Tavita, the big boy, bumbling, rumbling, stumbling, and getting 15, 20 yards a touch.
Yeah. Impressive run for Tavita Valetti as this group continues to be able to run effectively.
I always laugh. I talk to Coach Valetti. I'm like, man, why do you run so much? He's like, have you seen Tavita? You'd run too if you had him in the backfield. Now look at this matchup at the bottom of your screen, 44. Luke Nadald.
No hand off. Tavita trying to get outside. Good pursuit. Still takes 2-3 guys to bring him down, limited to a gain of 3.
The hard thing is coming back out after halftime, you're like, oh my gosh, I have to face this monster again. Man, thought I was done with that. I got my orange slices. Now I'm back to this, Hades.
Tell you though, we talked about at the start of the broadcast, wanting to face a good opponent, right? With playoffs coming around the corner, this Park City group.
Got your wish.
Yes, you did. Tavita. Again, right side, boy. Oh, that ball comes out. Oh. Huh. So, are they awarding progress or saying he was down? I'm not quite certain. But they will not grant that fumble. Springville would have been on it, but it's a difference of like 5-6 yards.
Yeah. All right. And Springville is just bleeding the clock now.
Yeah, 3rd and 5 here. Here's Rock in the shotgun. Has he only thrown 3 passes tonight?
I believe so.
Looking up the left side. Oh, what a block. Did you see that clearing? I mean, that was like Publishers Clearinghouse. Tavita Valetti coming up. Man.
I felt it from here. My goodness gracious. I think he might have gotten the wind knocked out of him.
Park City player still down. I thought that was an offensive lineman who had that drive, but it was the tailback Tavita Valetti. My word, is they'll come out and take a look at the Park City player. We'll take a quick break, step aside. We'll be back. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week. Welcome back. It was Owen Tabarachi who is the injured player for Park City.
And you've got a 4th down coming up, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, forget the kicker. Springville out to go for it. They've tried a couple hard counts like this. Tavita running left side, first down and more. Valetti lowering the pads, touchdown.
My goodness. College coaches, if you need a fullback, if you need a halfback, if you need any type of back.
We got another Park City player down here.
Wow.
Well, I don't know what upset Tavita Valetti tonight, but that guy is playing like a beast.
This is not 7-on-7. I'm telling you that right now.
We'll step aside. Another injury here for Park City. We'll be back with a point after this. Welcome back.
Are they going?
Terry was the injured player. As you see him able to walk off. One of their top tacklers coming to the game tonight is Springville. Tacking on a touchdown, point after try here.
That was some of the hardest running I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well, I'm still just speechless over the block on the previous play. You don't see a lot of running backs able to block like that. This kick up, good. 21-3, Springville.
You can just feel the momentum just
sucked out of the stadium, right? Moose, you look at a lot of kids. You watch a lot of tape. You talk to a lot of coaches. What did you just see from Tavita Valetti?
If I'm a coach, I'm offering that kid right now.
What's his level?
Honestly, if I'm at Navy, I would offer him right this second. He doesn't have that elite speed, elite burst, but how hard he runs, I don't think it matters.
Well, look, I'm gonna go to a Matic offense because I don't watch a lot of Navy, but you think about I'm gonna call that a back, but that back in those wings that line up right behind, right? And usually he's your
fullback almost.
He's your fullback, but he's kind of your blast guy, right? Right. If you run that offense in college, he's your guy, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm literally trying to find the words of how to describe what we just witnessed.
And here's the thing. It's why we don't get to see a lot of Park City. We never see Springville. Unless they're in the semifinal, I never get to see Springville. So for me, I was I'm excited. Two teams I don't get to watch. I see a lot of highlights of Tavita. But when you see it in real life, you're like, oh, man. This kick returnable. Oh, boy. Got blocked right into the feet of the returner, just nowhere to go.
This is one of the harder situations to be in as a quarterback. All your guys are cold. They had just had a turnover that resulted in points. You've got to get down the field. And Lincoln Jackson, he's chomping at the bit. He's like, give me the ball, let's throw it.
First down, they'll start inside their own 20.
Lincoln last year, Champ Edwards at American Fork was supposed to be the athlete. Lincoln Edwards can get around and do a lot of different things. Lincoln Jackson, sorry.
Had a little clock malfunction there. This end of the flat, there's nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. That defense flowing well.
Tua Naofua did a great job. The 6', 205-pound sophomore. They've got a lot of young kids here at Springville. But also, Fours, one of my favorite players, Luke Nadal, got in there and said, no, not in my flats. And that's a loss of a lot.
8:15 to go here in the third. Again, we're just letting the official clock catch up to ours as they run this up the middle. That was an 8-yard loss on that first down.
Man, Park City's just having nothing really going their way at this point.
It'll be 3rd and long, about 15 to go here for the Miners.
54, Chris Hernandez. 3rd down, 15, Miners.
Springville looks ready. They're dropping 7.
Jackson gonna try to go deep. This one being red, nearly intercepted. Boy, probably would have been if that corner just kind of slid across. There's no way to know that Reed D-Day is coming over, but Reed nearly had the pick.
You got to have some communication out there. Be like one of the birds from Finding Nemo. Mine.
Oh. And so Park City here to punt.
Not enough guys out there. It's the guard spot, too.
This snap handled. Oh, boy. Good height, but not the distance you like to see. Oh, big bounce. Big bounce for Park City.
Oh, touch it. There you go. Don't have to roll on it, but just touch it.
They will take that bounce. No doubt.
Dellenbrock's going to go to the bench, just like I drew it up, Coach. They had the 2 returners. You told me to put it right in the middle of them, right?
So Springville starting at the 49. I will say this. I was down on the field before the game. And one of the things you just don't appreciate being in the stands is size. And when you're down on the field, it's like, oh, they're like 6'4" everywhere. Like Springville's big. I was surprised.
Yeah, that's how I feel about when I walk around Costco on Saturdays as well. I'm like, man, I am in the wrong state. Everyone here is huge.
First down here for the Devils.
Need to get back to New Zealand, to Hobbitsville or whatever it's called, the Shire.
Tavita. Oh, Tavita. Cut down at the 37.
No one wants a piece of that at this point. Well, I don't blame them.
And you get momentum rolling like that. It's like, I didn't want to tackle that from up here.
As a safety, it's like, all right, coming down the alley. I'm like, I don't want to be in this alley.
First down.
There's a couple alleys I never want to be in. A dark alley.
And a Tavita Valetti alley.
A Tavita Valetti alley. That is not a good alley to be in.
Do you know how many rushing touchdowns he had coming into the game tonight?
30?
23.
23?
He's got 2 tonight. He's got 25, and he's through 9.5 weeks. It's a pretty good year.
Yeah.
Valetti again. Valetti bouncing off guys. Another 10-yard run.
He's getting 10 yards a pop right now. He's only run the ball twice. They started at the 50. Now they're at the 27.
Look, we kind of talked about it. We did our pregame last night before the Davis-Syracuse game. We talked about Timpview. I think a lot of people view them the best team in 5A. There are teams that have hung around with them. You see this Springville team. It's like if their defense plays like that, and if their O-line can play like that, you bet they could hang around with them.
Yeah. And Timpview's still pretty young.
Yes, they are. First down, little toss.
For Timpview at this point, it's almost turning into the pinstripe Yankee scenario. You see the T and you see the bird, you're like, oh, we're in for a long night. But they're young.
Yeah.
Sophomore quarterback. All these things. Man, it was such a beautiful drive up the canyon coming here tonight.
Wasn't it?
Fall leaves. I was like, this is gorgeous. It's a little scary going down, but not as scary as seeing Tavita Valetti in the backfield.
How about I formation? This is old school. Nadal's wide open to the end zone. Luke, touchdown. Wow. Springville.
Because, of course, if I was a quarterback, I would not be sitting there ready for that.
Well, look, Nadal was behind the D. That pass maybe a little underthrown, and Nadal, like a crafty senior would, able to find a way to get the room to haul that in.
It might have been a lot of it underthrown on that one, but great catch, great jump.
First touchdown catch of the night for Luke Nadal. As this point after up and good. 28-3 as it is all Springville on the road.
Springville has waited for a class like this for a long time, and they're finally getting it. Proud community down there in southern Utah County. Great people, just fun to watch.
Look at that. Hey, when you go on the road, sometimes you got to bring the heat, literally.
Oh my goodness. Man, someone's living in 2030 right now.
The offense has brought the heat, the defense has brought the heat, the fans brought the heat. It's all over.
Man, we don't need the heat. At least a third of our broadcast crew, because one of us has an igloo.
Yeah, I'm plenty warm. I'm plenty warm.
Nice.
You know, I will share this.
Nice, igloo.
I've got a coworker, grew up in Park City, and I was talking to him, I was like, yeah, I got to go to Park City now. I got my thermals, I got my igloo. He's like, it's not going to be that cold. It's going to be 35 degrees. He's like, yeah, it's not that bad. I'm like, what the?
Well, I see
Who
most
are you?
of these kids.
Shorts and T-shirts?
Yeah,
I'm like, what the?
Like, all the gals out here are wearing very thin, layered clothes, and I'm like, what are y'all doing? Even most of the guys out here, same thing.
I literally have 5 layers on right now. This one bounced, picked up at the 5. And, nice turn upfield to about the 20.
I don't have shorts on. That's about as good as it gets for me.
That's back-to-back nights Moose has had to bring out the pants.
You know what? The older I get, the wiser I get. When I played football, I'd go out with the lineman, no shirt, feeling good.
Were you that guy?
Yeah. I'd be like, it's snowing, it's nothing. Then I'd go back to the locker room, I'd be like, anyone know where the theater is? I'm dying.
Oh, man. You know, I water skied on New Year's Day one year.
Where? Hawaii?
Idaho.
Oh, no, you did.
Yes, I did.
That lake is frozen.
When I was 11, water skied on New Year's Day.
Did you have a wetsuit? Dry suit?
I had a dry suit, but I fell in. Oh, that was nearly picked. Nice turn
That was a
up.
series of fortunate events right there. Almost a sack, almost a pick, and you got yourself a first down. Park City's still breathing.
Bash Bodley with the reception. He's been the favorite target tonight for Lincoln Jackson. Yeah, I had a dry suit, but I fell in on my run. So hands, feet, head, all that got wet.
Oh, my gosh.
It was an experience. Jackson trying to find room. Will not. He'll be brought down.
Man, you only have 3 Devils sitting right there, and they're not on your shoulder. They're running, jumping on you. This is a literal Devils. Wow.
Park City coming into the game 9-0. Looking for their first undefeated regular season since 2019. That in jeopardy here tonight. Jackson.
Good catch again.
Yeah, bobble hauled in there by Bodley.
Jackson is throwing strikes. He's still going out there, and I love the moxie from him.
Yeah. And you can even see there's some fire in him, right?
Yeah.
3rd and 8 here.
I don't know how I'd feel seeing 2 6'6" behemoths and a Jackson in there. Oof.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel good. Pressure. Jackson running out of room. He's got some room now. First down and more across the 50 and out of the 47-yard line.
You can tell he's learned to slide at this point in his career. He's like, I'm going to slide. I am not taking another hit.
Yep.
He's like, I am too valuable to my team.
Well, he's lost games from not like physical losses, but hasn't been able to play lost games because of injuries. So, look, man, your senior year, you want to finish it out. You don't want to lose more time due to unnecessary hits, right?
Yep.
Jackson here. Oh, nice concept there on the outside. And that one out of bounds after a gain of 5. Yeah, 5.
Like the NFL says, the best ability is availability.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why Fred Warner got a shot. He was available one week, and they're like, oh my gosh, we might have the best linebacker in the whole NFL. The more you can play, the better off you're going to be.
Second down.
I'm honestly just glad it's not windy.
It was before the game, but it's died down. There's a penalty flag here from our umpire. This will back up Park City.
Park City's having a tough time with penalties. That's got to be +5 on penalties tonight.
At least. I mean, the one drive they had 3 or 4, right?
Yeah.
And it's been disruptive. You've gone from moving the football rhythm to being behind schedule, behind the sticks, and tough.
Are we going diamond formation at the top? What are we doing?
Trips.
Trips to the top?
Yep,
okay.
then you got
attached tight end.
Yep.
Oh.
And that ball on the turf. And unforced errors. Look, you've got, I think you have 4 or 5 fumbles tonight, 2 of them lost.
Well, you haven't had this quarterback for much time this year, but you got to get it together. It's tough. Do you know what I do like? We haven't had any sideline penalties this week.
That's true. That is true.
So count your blessings right there.
That's a late defensive check there for Springville. That toss is on the turf, and the Red Devils have it.
Oh, just heartbreaking for Park City, but great job by Springville. Wow.
Another fumble from Park City will set up Springville.
And the thing is, at this point, the defense for Park City is like, oh, crap. We have to go against 2-8 right now. Man. This could be a great learning experience for Park City, though.
Yep.
And that's what I like to see. The regular season sets you up for the postseason. If you take this game, if you learn from it, good things are going to happen.
And here's the first down. We'll get into that. As Valetti, we talked about it, right? Park City, they're 9-0, had a good non-region schedule. The region, not the deepest region in 4A.
No.
So, they've cruised in a lot of games, and now it's, hey, we got to get locked in for playoffs, because that's not going to be the case when we get in the postseason. And you can think of teams in other classifications that have had that kind of experience where they head into the playoffs kind of coasting, and then it's a distinct wake-up call, and you don't have time for that starting next week.
That's the one thing I'm kind of worried about for, like, Corner Canyon, for example. They haven't had a real test since Bishop Gorman.
Well, and they are getting one of those tonight. We looked at halftime. That was a 14-10 game playing Harriman tonight. So, sometimes I often believe championship teams have a moment where they're tested. Yeah. And maybe Corners is week 10, but a moment where it's like, guys, this is not an autopilot kind of thing. Like, you got to put in the work. You got to get it done.
I remember my junior year, we played Davis, got hit in the mouth, and we're like, Davis? They have a football team? And then it was like, oh, crap, we actually got to play. Let's go.
Yep. Third down here for Springville. Toss.
Wow, good job, Park City. Great response.
And that's the other thing. There has not been give up in Park City. I mean, you have, again, I'm estimating, we'll say 5 fumbles, 3 lost. It's easy to just duck the head, not our night.
Yeah.
But get out of here, right?
See, these kids are a lot grittier than I am. I probably would have been like, all right, coach, tap the helmet, I'm out.
Yep. 4th down, Springville offense staying on the field. Why not?
They're not punting?
Situational, man. Look,
they're punting.
No, they're not.
Oh, they're not. Okay, never mind. Wishful thinking by the special guest over here.
I'll defend this in a moment. Miscommunication. Nadeau was running that little out, I think. It was good lockup initially there, but look, if it's a 28-21 ball game, you're down, you got to go for it. That's a situational opportunity. Go practice in a game, right?
That's true. But Springville's up.
Moose doesn't like it, so.
It was Springville that was on offense.
No, I know, but I'm saying it's a situational opportunity, right? Let's say you're playing Timpview in a quarterfinal. It could be 28-21. It's like, hey, guys, we want to test a 4th and 8 play, so let's go, right?
I'm living right here, right now. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no,
My goodness.
I'm all about the what-ifs and the future.
You're 29 steps ahead of me. I'm like, but they're up.
You're like, hey, they're the visitor on the scoreboard. Park City running again, and a gain of 1.
Sometimes I bring my A game. Sometimes it's not quite there.
That's all right. It's cold. Moose's body temp is down to 78. Mine's still a good 98.6.
I've been doing some ice baths, listening to Wim Hof. It is not helping me by any way, stretch, or form at this point.
You do ice baths?
Yeah. I went and bought a horse trough.
Really?
I can't afford fancy things.
Jackson.
Great pass.
That's on the money, right at the sticks. I think that's good for a first. Oh, they got him a short.
Just
Come on.
short.
Come on. 3rd and 1 here.
The hard thing is you're like, let's just do a quick run, but 1.5 yards with Dallin Johnson in front of you.
Well, I was going to say, with this defensive front, that's a lot easier said than done. Timeout here, taken by the Miners. 3rd and 1 for Park City when we come back. Welcome back here. 3rd and 1. On the ground. Oh, and just slipped up.
Turf monster got him, and he might have it.
I think he does.
Oh, they're giving it to him. Okay, good. I was about to say, nothing can go right for these Miners tonight.
Right.
But finally.
They didn't stop it there for the first down.
The announcer was so excited for that first down, as was the crowd.
Jackson caught. Oh, big hit by Nadal. And with that, the 3rd quarter comes to a close. A good quarter for the Red Devils. The Devils lead Park City 28-3 on KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week. Welcome back. Start of the 4th quarter.
2nd down 5.
They'll run it.
That's
first down. Nice job, Warner there.
Warner getting the edge, getting around the side. I love to see that speed option because you're like, I don't think they're going to attack the field like that, and they do. Getting your playmakers in space, getting some confidence is fun.
They got a first down here. Jackson. That ball's on the turf, and they're going to say, oh, now they'll blow it dead and say incomplete.
Still a great effort.
That's one where, how do you define a catch, right? And I agree. I would have ruled that incomplete.
I don't know if I would have. And the refs are having a conference about it because it looks like the back judge ruled it incomplete.
Well, I thought it was the near line judge.
I know, there's a lot of judges. Okay, incomplete.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know how you can turn that over because
you don't have a challenge flag.
Well, and you didn't let the play finish.
Well, Nadal did score a touchdown on that.
Well,
we'll give him a touchdown.
He left the ball back at the 14. That's not very polite.
Well, they've got another ball. But, you know what? He's got to get his steps in for the day, the ball boy.
Hey, how about the ball boy recognize I'm just going to go off the other sideline.
Elite football IQ from the ball boy.
He must have been trained by soccer. Here's...
probably a coach's kid, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh boy. No. Jackson somehow squares that up and just 2 yards out in front of his intended target.
Tavita Valletti's out there. He's like, hey, I can play defense too. Don't you worry about that.
Here's my question.
Different.
How do you still have stamina to make that play when you're running like you're running?
Well, he's just a young man, and I think that's how you do it.
Gee whiz.
About 9 o'clock, I'm ready for bed at this point in life. Been yelling at kids to get off my lawn lately.
There's a chance I could go to bed before 11 tonight. That'd be the earliest for me in a while. Keeping my fingers crossed. 3rd and 10 here. Empty backfield. Jackson stepping up. He's got a little bit of room here. Lincoln. Oh, how about that move? Lincoln Jackson. Hey, Tavita Valetti has looked spectacular tonight. That's the one play that Tavita's going to be like, hey, Coach, I don't want to watch that one.
They're going to watch it over and over and over again. You know it.
Tavita was so disappointed. He unbuckled his helmet before Jackson was brought down. Like, I can't believe I just let that happen.
He's like, I got to flip my hips, but they're not flipping.
My bad, guys. First down here for Park City. Pressure here coming from Springville, and that ball in the dirt, incomplete.
Man, Dallin Johnson, you don't expect him to move like he does. He is just a disruptor, and he's a problem. I know that Coach Funk and Coach Pua are going to be going back and forth fighting for that kid. It's always interesting to decide where the kid gets to play and what happens. I know for Jackson Powers Johnson, he played on both sides. Started at D-line and O-line at Oregon.
The other crazy thing about Jackson Powers Light, I think it was a semifinal game. Played out at Cedar Valley. This was COVID year.
Yep.
He's chucking the ball 40 yards.
Oh, he's got
that dude, look, he's not built to play quarterback, but he can do pretty much anything on the football field you want him to do.
He lets you know it, too.
Yeah, he does. He does.
I love that kid. I went golfing with him this summer. He's actually a heck of a golfer,
and too. I say that with all the love of my heart, right? Like, I don't mean that to be critical. To the end zone, incomplete.
Yeah, JPJ he's cut from a different cloth. Was actually just named the mid-season All-American offensive line of the year.
They do mid-season All-American? So we have preseason, mid-season, and end of season?
You don't do that?
Why don't we just do week 7 All-American team? And
I don't think that's a bad idea. I basically do that, player of the week.
Well, that's different than like an All-American team that we're doing it 5 times over the course of a year. Look, here's the deal. I'm 41. I've earned the right to be old and grumpy, all right?
Oh, man. I'm only 32. I've only got 9 years till I hit that.
Hey, we want to thank our sponsors here at KSL Sports Rewind. Igloo Outfitters. I'm nice and warm in my Igloo, folks. It's the most comfortable wearable sleeping bag. I know that might perk an eyebrow. I'm telling you, it's worth it. Go to igloooutfitters.com. That's IGLU, igloooutfitters.com. Enter Rewind for $20 off. Also want to thank Heidemann and Associates, a full-service law firm that's completely focused on you, and they'll even give you a free consultation. If you got a legal question, they'll talk you through it. No one better to do it than Heidemann and Associates. Give them a call at 801-472-7742.
Man, I could use an Igloo.
You want mine?
No, I'm not that guy.
All right. No, I offered it. 4th down. Jackson, eyes downfield. Everyone's covered. No one's open. Penalty flag here on the play. Jackson trying to extend it, and he's just going to run out of time. And that's the thing I was trying to say earlier. This Springville secondary is really good.
Yeah. Springville sneakily, they have lots of athletes. They do a great job, but they just play such team ball that you're like, who's the standout here? And you're like, I don't know. They all are.
Well, and here's the other thing. I was talking with Coach Valetti before the game, talking with both staffs. They were both very gracious with their time, but Coach Valetti said, no one's talking about us, and we love it that way. He's like, I love our group. We trust ourselves. We love our gameplay. We've got players. Like, I love that we are flying under the radar right now, and after a performance like this, that's going to change on KSL Sports Rewind. Coach, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When we get to see it, we got to talk about it. We let you go for 9 weeks, but no more.
This is a great team.
It is.
And a lot of ways to attack you.
And this feels like a different Springville team to me.
Me too.
We'll see if that comes to fruition in the postseason. They take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, let's see. There's 9 guys out there.
I just run it anyway.
That's a different strategy.
I bet it's going to Tavita. Actually, he's not out there right now. He's getting a rare break.
That's probably why they're freaking out. They're like, hey, our workhorse isn't out here.
We'll get a timeout. Timeout here, Springville. And we'll step aside and be back after this. Springville starting with first down.
Now they got all the players on the field, which is always rough when you look.
That helps.
Not enough guys.
Looking left side.
Oh, great run.
Just taking on guys here. As that was Max Harris, the sophomore, with a nice run.
It seems like Springville always has a running back, and they've always got one in the wings, too. Because Max Harris can do it, and we've seen Valetti having 2 sophomores coming up. That's a scary sight for a lot of teams down south.
Yep. Second down. Not much there. Tried that time with Fanau.
That might have been my favorite play ever by Zach Olson, number 26. Faking the pitch. She's like, give the ball! And no one's going with them. Horrible acting job, Zach. Come on, man.
Hey, he did his best.
You got to take him some acting classes. I'll be teaching those pretty soon.
3rd and 3.
Yeah.
So I had missed it because I am doing other things here, and I looked up and I saw Park City players talking to each other, so that's what I thought you were referencing.
No.
So that's...
It's okay. We're allowed one mess up.
I only have 2 eyes.
You use them well.
Yeah, debatable. 4th down.
Now, Dellenbrock gets another punt. Not a great snap. Pretty good punt.
Yeah.
Great punt. Fantastic punt if it gets in the 20. Oh, heartbreaker. But that's what you call flipping the field right there. Great
Indeed.
job. The nice thing with high school, you can actually play games. You can, like, as a punter, you're like, okay, they've got one guy over here. I can really drive it. I can do a couple different things because you have time to do it. Once you get to college, you only have 2.1 seconds from the snap of the ball to where it's got to hit your foot. So you've got to get it off quick. High school, you've got about 2.6 seconds.
You know, it's always tough when you have interclassification games. This Park City team 9-0, 4A taking on a 5A. Been pretty one-sided tonight. It can be hard to measure interclassifications. This one has been very much in favor of the 5A Springville Red Devils. Park City here up the middle. And the turnovers have really probably been to their undoing tonight, right?
Yeah.
Just gifted possessions.
And this is an upper-tier 5A team.
It is.
It's not like you're going against a lower-tier 5A team where it's probably more of an even match. And this is what Park City wanted. They're like, we want to go against the best.
Yep.
Because we want to be prepared for playoffs.
And
this is a great thing to do.
And as they'll throw this one out into the flat. Moose, you alluded to this earlier, right? Who's the best team in 4A?
Probably Crimson Cliffs.
Probably Crimson Cliffs. They beat Springville 28-7. So it's one where this gives you a measuring stick, right? You now know, hey, guys, if we want to go compete for a 4A state championship, probably at some point going to have to go through Crimson Cliffs. Here's a measuring stick.
Yeah, and hopefully Park City and Crimson Cliffs are on opposite sides of the brackets.
Hopefully, right? 5 wide here for Jackson. Route over the middle, caught, hit immediately. Going to be short by a yard, maybe 2.
But you got to go for it.
And there's other. Skyview is in that conversation. Ridgeline in that conversation. There's a lot of good 4A teams.
There's some great 4A teams, and they're fun to watch.
And even Park City, right? Look, the fumbles tonight, the penalties, that does not represent how Park City's played this year.
What I like about 4A and 5A this year, it's not like, hey, it's only going to be 1 or 2 teams.
Right.
It's like, hey, you've got West, you've got Brighton, you've got Alta.
I had someone text me today. They're like, "Who are your 2 semifinalists in 5A?" I'm like, I can't even.
I can't give you
can't
4.
even tell you, man. Like, that's really not a fair question. Park City going to go for it here on 4th and 2. Direct snap. The surge by Springville up front has been a problem all night, and it gets the stop here on 4th and short. Turnover on downs.
Man. Dallin Johnson signaling the first down.
Hey, special thanks goes out to our chain gang tonight. As always, thank you to Andrea Payne.
Big cheers for the chain gang. All right.
Ed Potts. And welcoming the newcomer tonight, her first game, Kelly Anderson.
Hey, how about that? A first-timer on the chains? Acting like a pro. Haven't had any chain mishaps tonight.
That's a tough job, too.
It is. I did it once in middle school. I was like, yeah, no.
Never again. This is where you're going to see some of the younger kids for both squads.
Yeah, you got a new quarterback here for Springville. That's Easton Condi, the junior. As they'll give it off.
And it's just an attitude with Springville, how they run the ball. I mean, Mofi now coming in, the junior, 5'11", I'm sure probably 220 pounds, just getting her done. This isn't the deepest squad, Springville, but, man, their starters are legit.
Well, because, and you talked about this earlier, if you looked at the benches, you'd think Park City's the 5A and Springville's the 4A.
Yeah.
I formation, they'll go again. And a run there by Zach Olson, the junior, picking up 3.
That was a solid tackle by Corbin Towery. Now, big third down. What are you going to do? How are you going to do it?
They'll stay I formation once again. They ran a lot of double tight ends. It was one of the things we were talking about before the game when Tavita was in. Here they've gone I formation with their junior, and they get the first.
Got it, yep. It's hard to tell from up here, but easier to tell from up here than what we dealt with last night.
Right?
Oh, my goodness.
Perspective can be a tough thing.
I always laugh. People are like, hey, are you going to go to a college game? I'm like, not unless I'm in the box. I got to see everything.
Yeah, yep.
That's why I like watching college games on TV right now. That's why you all are enjoying this high school game on TV as well.
That's right. I like it because it's warm and there's good food for cheap. A run here again. There by Zach Olson.
I don't know if there's cheap food anywhere nowadays.
Well, it's cheaper. I'm not spending $12 for a hot dog at my house. Only 4 or 5.
I may spend $12 for the right hot dog at my house. Give me
I'll tell
some
you what,
J-Dogs.
Tonight I'm going to spend something. I've not eaten much this week. I had my first hot meal all week was last night at Davis when they brought us Costa Vita. My first hot meal this week.
We need to find you a new job, is what I'm realizing.
I like my job. I like my job. I don't know if they like me, but I like my job. Harris here on the run. He's got a first down. First and goal here for Springville.
Well, we all like you here. That's all that matters.
Hey, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it, Moose. First and goal here for the Red Devils.
Honestly, the Devils is such a cool school name, too.
Yeah, it is.
Especially in Utah County. But their, weight room is absolutely rough.
Well, here's the thing. I was going to make the comment just earlier because all these backs look like they're just built to. Yeah, their weight room must be the most used room in that building. It's got to be.
Have you been to it?
No.
So
I've been to their gym.
So their weight room, you go down these daunting steps for it feels like a mile. I'll tell you a little bit about. Okay.
Olsen there again.
So you go down these daunting steps, and you're like, "Where is this?" It's like 2 stories down, and you're like, "Okay." And then you walk down, you take a right, and they have an indoor track in there. And you're like, what is this?
So this is underground?
It's underground.
Wow.
And then you walk in, and there's the coach's office in the weight room in the middle of the track. The underground track. It's the craziest place I've ever been.
Look, man, if things ever go down, Springville can still lift weights.
Yeah, no joke.
Inside of 3 to play here. Oh, nice turn inside. Park City trying to keep him out. That pile moving. Touchdown.
Man, they don't see the sun a lot, but they do see the weight room a ton. Good job for Springville.
Max Harris with the touchdown run. The sophomore finding the end zone. And how about the congratulations by all of his teammates as he comes off the field.
I think this Park City defense is just happy they won't ever have to see Springville again.
Unless they have a multi-year agreement.
Do they?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't see future schedules. I can only see past.
I always laugh because it seems like the coaches, it comes pretty close to the season, and they're like, oh, anyone got a game, week 3 game open? And it's like, don't we play this out earlier?
Penalty flags here.
It's like, yeah, well, what week is it? It's week 2. I got to find someone for next week. You're just like, there's got to be a better way to do this.
Well, there are some ideas on better ways. I don't know if they're better or not, but
I was laughing.
We hope we don't get to that point.
I was talking to some coaches. I'm like, how do you schedule games and stuff? They're like, we've got an email chain. And I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, you just put an email out. Anyone got an opening. And I'm like, that's the most inefficient way of doing anything I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
Then I'll laugh. I was talking to some of the older coaches. They're like, yeah, I'm still on that email list. I haven't been a coach for 10 years.
Got through. That kick still made it through. 35-3. All unanswered points from Springville. Senior night here at Park City. Honored a bunch of seniors, including their quarterback, Lincoln Jackson, Tyler Monzingo, another one of those seniors, Corbin Towery. We talked about Tabarachi, one of those seniors, McCurdy, one of those seniors. It's a loaded senior roster for Park City, and obviously you never like to have senior night with a loss, but it's tough, win or lose, your last regular season game.
It definitely is, and it's kind of like a graduation of times because it's interesting. Nowadays, a lot of kids are graduating early. Yeah. They're going on.
Yeah.
And this is kind of their graduation for them.
That's indeed true. Meanwhile, for Park City, they could still very well have a first-round bye. We have to wait. Tomorrow the RPI will come out. We'll see where they land in 4A. So may not be the last home game officially. But again, that will be made known officially tomorrow morning.
Which is kind of, you're sitting here and you're kind of going through the list. You're like, who am I going to play? What am I going to do? And you get to find out tomorrow.
Well, I'll give you a perspective on that as this kick fielded back near the 10 up to the 26. Here's what's interesting, Moose. So week 10, we always do this, where week 10 you've got Wednesday games and Thursday games and Friday games. All right, so let's talk about that schedule. Week 9, you play a Friday night, and then you're playing a game on Wednesday. You've got Saturday, Monday, walk through Tuesday. So I hear coaches are like, I don't have a week to prepare for my opponent. It's like, are you really going to miss 6 hours when you have the potential to only have 2 days of practice before your Week 10 game? Like, logically to me, that breaks down.
I'd have to agree with that. And coaches they just want more time. They want more everything.
Yep, I agree.
Like, I don't know.
But I'm just like, you could have just had a scenario where you had 2 practices for a regular season game and you're going to be upset about literally like a matter of a couple hours? Oh, nice run here. Ritchie taking this up near midfield. Nice run there for Jackson Ritchie, the sophomore.
The difference between that, though, you know your opponent and you can actually have some game planning, some coaches.
That's fair.
Going for that weeks in advance.
No, that's not true because you don't know where other regions are going to fish. You might know I'm playing Region 4.
Week 10.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Fine, Moose. You beat me again.
It rarely happens, but I celebrate each and every victory when I do.
That's a very fair point.
It's just hard when it's unknown.
No, I get it.
And there's no human interaction with it either, which makes it more tough. And you're like, oh, this team beat that team.
But in fairness, we see responses to human engagement such as officiating. I mean, imagine the blowback if humans came up with our slotting.
Oh, I'd love it.
No, here's the thing.
I thrive on the blowback. Let me get in there. I will make some great playoffs.
I have no problem putting together pairings if I were asked. I haven't been. I never will be. But it's like we can't even treat officials with dignity. What are we going to do to people who are determining playoff seedings?
Well, we can.
Well, we choose not.
Can.
Some choose not to. We got to fix it. We got to fix it.
Don't lump me in that crew.
I'm not trying to. Jackson over the middle, wide open. Nice touch, good catch inside the 20 and more. How about the reception there for Bash Bodley?
Yeah. Bash is an absolute stud. More people need to be talking about him.
And just a junior, so he's got another year.
He's going to be another one of those Park City kids. It's interesting. A lot of schools come to Park City, Davidson, because this is a unique community where you don't have a lot of kids going on missions, and they're like, we love to come to Park City and have kids that play right away.
Here's Jackson. Trying to evade. Steps up, has a man. Caught, touchdown, Park City.
Great job by Park City right there. Showing life in the waning minutes of the game.
Reese Smith, the junior, with the 11-yard touchdown reception. Nice for Jackson to get a touchdown pass in tonight as well.
And that was not an easy touchdown pass by any stretch of the imagination. He was running around, had to take his looks. He buys times with his legs. Just fun to watch.
You know what has surprised me about Lincoln Jackson tonight?
What?
How many times he's running and he gets that body squared up and the throw.
No.
This one gonna be eaten again. Another special teams miscue, but another miscue in general. Is that PAT no good?
That's going to ruin David Dellenbrock's rushing percentage.
Yeah, it's not going to help
there.
it. Yeah. But how many times have we seen Lincoln Jackson where he's not running to his throwing side, he's running across it and able to get that body squared up and make an accurate throw? It's been really impressive.
He's hit a lot of guys in the numbers tonight, and whether it's caught or not, I've just been impressed with the young man.
Yep.
That is honestly one of the scariest points ever as a kicker. When you're running backwards, don't know who's running at you.
You've been in full retreat mode?
Yes. I was punting one game. Ball goes over my head by like 10 feet. And I'm like, oh no! Oh no, I'm about to die.
All right, Moose, what'd you do? Did you jump on it or did you try to pick it up and make a play?
No, I picked it up. I ran it. I outran 3 guys. And I'm like, here we go! And I was like, I am going to go low on this guy. I should have hurdled him. I went low. He went lower. And I flipped. I was like, I am not a running back. But the onside kick, what we've all been waiting for.
Hey, why not, right?
Or not. Looks like he's getting ready to regular kick it. Okay. Well, it could be a tricky onside kick. The guy at the top of the screen, he's doing something or the other, but we're not sure what at this point.
What you gonna do?
Oh, middle dribble. And
it didn't make it 10.
That's a bold play right there. I remember Andy Phillips, when we were at the U together, he had like 3 field goals his first game, got an onside kick, and was so excited because after the game we all got prime ribs, steak, all this stuff. And he's like, was named the player of the game. And at that point in the NCAA, if you were a walk-on, you weren't allowed to be fed. So in the locker room, they were like, let's go! prime rib for everyone. And he goes to walk in, and they're like, except for you. Oh. Get out of here. And I'm like, oh, what a horrible
That is brutal.
I think some of his teammates snuck some out to him, but I was just
so.
like, that is such an awful rule.
Yeah, that's rough. But we're here for the athletes.
Don't worry, walk-ons won't get trucks hit the U or prime rib.
Bill Bars, though. Hey, first down. I'm just teasing. Here's carry there, gain of 4.
And that should wrap it up.
Yeah.
That's a game for us.
Boy, what a night for Springville. They put on 35 unanswered. Moose, what'd you learn tonight? We'll start with Park City.
Well, Park City, I've learned that they're coming together, and I think they're going to be a ferocious 4A team. I'm excited to watch them in the playoffs. I think that they got beat at the line of scrimmage tonight, and there's just a phenomenal running back they were going against.
And multiple phenomenal running backs, but Tavita Valetti was something else. What'd you learn about Springville?
I learned about Tavita Valetti. Tavita Valetti is the freaking truth. I learned that they actually have a great receiver as well in Nadal. I think there's just some great things that Springville can do, and they're no longer flying under the radar. They're a complete team.
Give us your player of the game, Moose.
I would go for hundreds of players, but Tavita Valetti is the only answer.
Easy answer. Tavita Valetti did it all. Had a touchdown pass, multiple touchdown runs, and even contributed defensively as Springville gets the 35-9 victory over Park City. Regular season, it's done. Playoffs coming up next. Moose Bingham, myself, will have playoff coverage for you next week. Join us every week as we take you all the way to state championships right here on KSLSports.com. For Doug Jardine, Moose Bingham, my name is Dave Stewart. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.